Hi everybody. I'm sure everyone knows what the ASQ Ages and Stages questionnaire is. I conducted my ASQ with a 3-year-old little girl here in Tucson. This was an interesting task. It was really fun to do since I don't get to work with children a whole lot. Just seeing how their brains work when you ask them to do tasks, from easy tasks that they complete very quickly to the harder tasks that you really get to see them think through something and accomplish it. And the celebration that comes after they accomplish something is always really fun to be a part of. So this tool, the ASQ tool, I find to be really important in social work for those who are working with children and families, and also those who might not be. Working with children and families, it's important to assess where the child is developmentally and helping the parents, implement creative interventions that might be needed to help the child reach those developmental milestones if they are pretty far behind. With me, I don't work with children, so I'm not going to conduct an ASQ on a 40-year-old adult. But it's still important to know what is on the ASQ for each age. Just because working with adults, I can ask them, what was something you mastered when you were younger? Where was your developmental delay? Was there any developmental delay? And being able to do the full biopsychosocial with an adult would include, for me, knowing what was really a delay and what wasn't a delay, or what was advanced and what wasn't advanced. The ASQ appears to be pretty culturally appropriate to use in any region of the U.S., and I pinpoint the U.S. just because in different countries there are different developmental standards that don't always go along with the Western school of thought. There might be some children who learn to do things a lot earlier than maybe a child who lives in America, and there may be children that do things later than a child who lives in America, but it may not be a delay in that country. So it's easy. The ASQ tool was easy to understand. It was easy to conduct. The parent didn't have a lot of questions about it, and the child had no problem completing the tasks, and I had no problem doing the interview. So one thing that I guess I would caution being a social worker and using the ASQ and working with families is being sure that the family knows that just because a child is not reaching a certain milestone, maybe within what their expectation is, doesn't necessarily mean the child's delayed. And being sure that the parent understands that just because the child may not be drawing a vertical line when you draw it, but they're also reaching all the other milestones that are in the ASQ, that might not be a cause for concern for the parent or the social worker. But it is important, of course, on the flip side, to be able to recognize when a delay should be looked at a little bit more closer, and when it should have some kind of intervention with it to make sure that the child is reaching those milestones within an appropriate range. So with that being said, I had a really great time in this class. It was very interactive. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed reading everybody's discussion posts and being able to get an interesting viewpoint from many diverse people across the country. So I look forward to the next session, and I wish everybody well in the next session, and I'm sure I'll see some of you for session B. So thank you so much for watching. Bye.